watching the Western Athletic Conference. It's here on ESPN. Welcome to Abilene, Texas, Game 3 of a 4-game homestand for the ACU Wildcats. They've won the first 2. They'll try to make it 3, but they'll get a Southern Utah team coming off a big win versus Tarleton on Thursday night WAC basketball here in Abilene. As we welcome you inside Moody Coliseum, Andy Penny alongside Matthew Dela Cruz. Yeah, both of these teams, ACU and Southern Utah, big wins on Thursday night. Now an opportunity, Matthew, to gain some momentum. Who's going to go 2-0 in WAC play this week?
Yeah, Andy, both of these teams need this win tonight, and ACU is on fire, looking for their 3rd win in a row, coming off of a dominating performance against Utah Tech at home. But Southern Utah, big win versus Tarleton. Let's see if either of these teams can get one game closer to being in that top half of the WAC.
Southern Utah, their first road victory of the year Thursday versus, as you can see, the 2nd place Tarleton Texans on Thursday night. Hey, Matthew, let's look at our impact players. Dominique Ford, he's playing really well for Southern Utah. Leo Bettiol, his first double-double on Thursday night.
Yeah, Leonardo, a big part of that dominating performance against Utah Tech, who was a really big help in getting them in that 20-0 run to start the second half. Huge momentum shift. Look for ACU to continue to get Leo involved today. And then on the other side, Dominique Ford, 4 games in a row scoring over 20. Will he get involved today? That's going to be the deciding factor in this game.
4th in the WAC in scoring, Dominique Ford. Hey, let's send it courtside to the 3rd member of our team. It's Roman Raffelli. Hey, Roman.
Thanks, guys. Due to localized power outages Thursday morning, teams forced to practice and get shots up in the dark before their game was announced to be played at McMurray that night. Teams arrived at 5 o'clock after getting their practice in and tipped off at 7:30, where ACU had a 82-60 win over Utah Tech. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Roman. Yeah, it was a crazy Thursday afternoon here in Abilene, but much appreciation and compliments to the neighbors just 6 miles away, McMurray University, Division III school here in Abilene, who was willing to open up the gym doors and allow the Wildcats to play on Thursday. The 82-60 victory versus Utah Tech, and now, Matthew, a chance again to win 3 in a row today.
Yeah, and Brett Tanner's fired up about this squad, Andy. He says he's proud of how they executed against Utah Tech and how the bigs got involved and they were able to score 40 points in the paint. So let's see if they can recreate that atmosphere here today against Southern Utah.
Brock Felder in the center circle with Leo Bettiol. WAC basketball on a Saturday afternoon is underway. The Wildcats in the home white uniforms. You'll see their starting lineup. It is similar to what we typically see. Bettiol, McLean, Madden, Simmons, and Deba. Hunter Jack Madden, the first shot of the afternoon. He's got the first 2. It's a Wildcat team averaging 75.5. And Southern Utah at 76.5. You can see their starting lineup today. Ford, Housley, Sibley to start with Felder on the inside, Zion Young as well. Parsal Fala not in the lineup today. Still back pain, did not play Thursday versus Tarleton. He is not in uniform again here today. So those minutes will go to Felder and Sibley. First shot is up, no good for the Thunderbirds.
Follow was a game-time decision, chose to sit out today. Let's see how that affects Southern Utah.
McLean and up and under. Kavion, the 5'9" junior, has his first 2 this afternoon. It's a Thunderbird roster that does not go very deep. You'll see this 5 on the floor the majority of the afternoon. So without Fala in the lineup, that really hurts the visitors. And now Ford has stepped on the near sideline. It's a turnover. The Wildcats off to a nice start.
ACU aggressive there, trapping in the corners with half court, trying to force a turnover. They forced 20 turnovers in their last game against Utah Tech, and they're off to forcing one right here in an early start.
Matthew, as you mentioned in the pregame, a 20-0 run in the second half over the course of 7.5 minutes versus the Trailblazers. Arion Simmons played big the other night. He'll drive the baseline. His first shot this afternoon falls off the rim. Zion Young into the front court. It's half-court man-to-man for the Wildcats to start. And here's a steal by Deba and a chance to run. Ali, the leading scorer for the Wildcats. 5th in the WAC in scoring. Dominique Ford is 4th in the WAC in scoring. Bettiol, his first touch. and lost it. It's a turnover by the Wildcats. Here's head coach Rob Jeter in his first season with Southern Utah. Comes from Western Illinois and much success at Wisconsin, Milwaukee. 2 NCAA tournament appearances in his time at Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Beat Oklahoma in the NCAA tournament in 2006. Already making a difference, taking over a Thunderbird team that's won 20-plus games each of the last 2 years. And a foul on the Wildcats. And here's Coach Tanner in his 3rd season with the Wildcats. 46 up and 39 down. Of course, 2 years ago, ACU made the WAC tournament championship game. Last year, it was Southern Utah who made the WAC tournament championship game. So a lot of success in these 2 programs in the last few years.
And a lot of similarities as well. These are 2 teams that have played a lot of tight games this season, so they know how to handle pressure, but they just cannot convert. Let's see how that will translate going down the stretch.
Zion Young, long jumper. Offensive rebound. This is where the Thunderbirds are good. Sibley has it. First look for Housley on the right side. The freshman, Braden Housley. First 3 this afternoon.
Housley averaging 37% from the 3-point line from beyond the arc, and he's getting involved early here today.
Matthew, you and I tabbed 75 as the number today. We think first team to get there today will have a great chance to win. Bettiol gets ACU 2 points closer to that. Great entry pass from Cam Steele.
Great seal there by Leonardo Bettiol, sealing his man to the inside, posting up, getting an easy feed, and laying it in the basket.
Bettiol's first double-double of the season on Thursday versus Utah Tech. Housley back-to-back trips, this one long. And a foul, I believe Cam Steele has the foul. Here's a good look. Bettiol's been big on the inside. Great position and a finish.
Great seal there, and not hesitating one bit, getting that ball, going up and scoring as he sits down. But what a good start here offensively for ACU. They've been in rhythm, they've converted, they've looked sharp so far.
3 for their first 4 field goals thus far. Aiden Igiehan has checked in for Bettiol. Sibley on a turnaround. Boy, that's a tough shot. He puts it in. Coming off his career high 21 on Thursday versus Tarleton.
Sibley was a big part of their success at Tarleton as they got their first road win, like you mentioned earlier. So it's a good sign for Southern Utah.
73-70 the final on Thursday at Stephenville. Igiehan off the rim, Sibley the rebound. And Sibley will carry minutes today. He and Felder will carry the minutes without Fala in the lineup. Step back 3. Sibley misses this time. 1 and done for the Wildcats. That's a key today. Thunderbirds love to crash that offensive glass. Brett Tanner highly complimentary of the Thunderbirds matchup zone. Diba, step on the baseline. Got it off the glass, good. Young to try to answer, falls out. A good pace to start today.
ACU moving fast and making this Southern Utah team move defensively to get out of position.
Madden, a little unconventional floating shot from 10 feet out. Sibley will work with Steele. And now 4 to touch. 4 consecutive with 20-plus points. Housley a drive. Too strong. Chance to run here for the Wildcats. 3-on-3. Cam Steele left alone, top of the key. Too strong. Both teams, I think, trying to catch their second wind here. We've been playing about 2.5 consecutive minutes without a break.
ACU, this is the style of basketball that they like. They like forcing turnovers, high pressure defense, and forcing their opponents into questionable decisions. Can Southern Utah stay poised?
Felder on the pick and roll. Gets it up off the glass and good.
It's a big bucket there to kind of curb the momentum from ACU.
Felder, the 6'8" freshman, had 8 points versus Tarleton. So he and Sibley combined 29, replacing Fowler. McClain up strong off the glass. Kavion's really come alive here in the last month of the season. 6.5 a game, he already has 4 this afternoon. And all 10 Wildcat points have come in the paint.
This is the similar start to what they had against Utah Tech, attacking early, getting points in the paint.
There's a pass deflected by Diva, out of bounds. Catch your breath, ladies and gentlemen. Up and down the floor this afternoon. ACU shooting well, they're 5 for 9. They've got an early 3-point lead. And welcome back, Abilene, Texas. Beautiful January Saturday. You don't get those often, but we have one here this afternoon. Andy Penny alongside Matthew Dela Cruz. Matthew, let's take a look at today's keys to the game.
Keys to the game today for both teams are simple. For ACU, crash the defensive glass. Southern Utah has a specific focus on getting offensive rebounds. They're very talented at it. ACU minus 4.4 in the rebound margin, so look for them to get some defensive rebounds. Second, for ACU, attack the matchup zone. Brett Tanner was talking to us earlier. He says Southern Utah's a lot like us. They attack the offensive glass well, but we found something in their zone that we like. For Southern Utah, their keys are free throw advantage. They're #1 in the WAC in free throw percentage. And then as well, contest shots. They're dead last in the WAC in field goal percentage.
Housley out of the timeout, drives the baseline, and he's got 2 up and good. Good start for the freshman, Braden Housley, 5 of the 9 points. Good up and down pace here to start. Wildcats 5 for 9. JV Seat, first shot of the afternoon, no good. Betty all blocked. Big block by Chad Hutchison, who's also checked in. Our first jump ball this afternoon, possession facing the Thunderbirds.
JV Seat had a good look in rhythm there. Looks good from our angle, but Betty all great rebound, but relentless defense and effort from Southern Utah. Looks like they've really regrouped at the timeout.
Chaz Hutchison, the 6'8" senior who wears #5. JV Seat wears #0, the 6'3" sophomore for the Wildcats. Hutchison, his first touch on the offensive end. Prophet Johnson also in, #16. Housley a drive, too strong. Johnson had the board. Simmons comes out of the pile. We anticipate a lot of free throws today. Both these teams like to attack and get to the line. This pass a little out in front of McClain and a turnover, but no free throws as of yet for either team.
Both teams near the top of the conference in free throw percentage. ACU 3rd, Southern Utah 1st. So this will be, you've anticipated this, you're right, to be a very free throw heavy matchup.
Ford a drive, contact, charge call. Dominic Ford has his first.
Great job here by JV Seat, stepping up outside of the restricted zone. It's hard to see there, but sending his feet, taking the charge, putting his body on the line for his teammates. And that's another turnover forced by the Wildcats. A huge momentum shift there.
Ford still scoreless as we're 7.5 minutes deep. Been in double figures, 18 of 19 games. He'll find a way to get there. 4 straight 20 plus, including 23 on Thursday night. Diva works on Johnson. Now McClain a touch. 10 on the shot clock. Betty all to the block. And left it strong. It was hot shooting out of the gate. ACU started 3 of 4. They're now 5 of 11. Housley with a screen. Ford a touch. 10 on the shot clock on this end. Johnson, entry pass, tough catch. Sibley can't make it. And it's another turnover. Quick timeout again here on the floor. ACU hanging on to the 1-point lead. It's 10-9 here in Abilene.
The best fans championship basketball, all in exciting Las Vegas. Join us March 13th through the 16th at the Orleans Arena for the 2024 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament. Don't miss the crowning of a men's and women's champion. For more information, go to wacsports.com/WACVegas.
Doctors and nurses are the foundation of healthcare, but it takes people from all different backgrounds, experiences, and education with unique talents and skills to fulfill our mission of providing high-quality healthcare, emphasizing excellence and compassion consistent with the healing ministry of Jesus Christ. Join our team of educators, nurses, accountants, pharmacists, environmental service techs, transporters, and more. Be part of something that matters. Be part of the mission. Apply today at hendrickhealth.org/careers.
The Fieldhouse, where the goal is better. Whether it's body composition improvement, athletic performance, mental fortitude, or quality of life. Better looks different for everyone. With the help of our qualified staff, we will be there to guide you, to keep you accountable, and to help you recover. Whatever better looks like for you. Come see us at the Fieldhouse, 1609 Conwood Street, right off the Treadway.
Welcome home, Wildcats. Moody Coliseum, the long. ACU, an early 1-point lead. Hey, let's send it down courtside. Third member of our team in Roman Roffelli. Roman, it's all yours.
Thanks, Andy. After shutting conference play 1-5, ACU's won their last two against an impressive UT Arlington team and Utah Tech on Thursday to turn their season around and get right back into the mix for a conference tournament position. They're hoping to ride this momentum through the end of the season as they get another win today here. Andy, back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Roman. Both of these teams, Matthew, as you mentioned earlier, kind of similar styles here as far as if you look at the schedule. Tough games throughout, close losses throughout, but both continue to battle.
ACU not out of it in terms of potentially contending for a championship in the WAC, just needing to put a few things together. And here at their homestand as of late, they've shown that they can compete and they can convert and they can win games. So this is an important game, an important matchup for them here today to get some momentum.
There's a lob pass in the entry. Diva left it off the front of the rim. It's a 3-minute scoring drought for ACU. They've led throughout, but Southern Utah another chance to take the lead, and they will on a backdoor cut. Blocked though. What a foul call. Block. Simmons got it on Hutchison, but a foul call, and it is. Simmons got the forearm. And our first free throws today.
Sibley had a great backdoor cut and read there to get free to the basket. A little miscommunication defensively. It almost got to finish, almost there, almost at the poster. But Arion Simmons had other plans as he commits the foul.
Hutchison, the senior out of Mission Viejo, California, transferred from UC Irvine. And this is a Thunderbird team who shoots it well at the free throw line. First, 75%. That's first in the WAC. They have made 71 more free throws than their opponents over the course of the year. They find a way to get to the stripe and then convert. 1-for-2 trip for Hutchison. Our first tie of the afternoon here at 10. Simmons will attack, left it short. Chance for a second. Whistle foul call here on the Thunderbirds.
Going back to that, Southern Utah on the free throw line, they've been efficient this season. However, today the difference is that they have not allowed ACU at the free throw line once yet.
ACU 18 of 22 at the line on Thursday versus Utah Tech. You've seen Nasir DeGroot passing the ball in, number 10. He and McClain share the point guard minutes. Entry pass stolen, whistle, and Diva, I believe, did grab a foot after the steal. Johnson came up with the steal.
Good hustle there, but that pass from Arion Simmons, not quite the angle you're looking for if you're looking for a two-man game in the low block. It's a tough play to make. Good job by Southern Utah to take advantage and to steal that ball and force another turnover.
The scoring drought has gone to over 3 minutes. ACU 1 for their last 9, 0 for their last 6 from the floor. Southern Utah looks for their first lead this afternoon.
ACU 3 turnovers in the last 3 minutes. Momentum definitely with the Thunderbirds.
Backdoor cut, Johnson at the rim, too strong. Cam Steele playing big on the inside. Diva with a step through, got it off the glass, good. That's Ollie's game. Brett Tanner very complimentary of the athleticism of Diva. Get him out in the open floor and watch out.
Ollie Diva, 15 points per game this season, and he's been a machine on the inside. Great finish.
Housley blocked by Iggy Ahan, and now Diva a run out. One-on-one with Young. Young fouls him in the open floor. But check out Diva on the last one. Again, in space, in transition. Ollie Diva's going to do some special things.
Ollie Diva, impossible to stop when he's in his element, when he's playing his game across the middle of the paint. Nice touch on the finish, and then coming down and getting fouled, not giving up.
That foul on Moore, his first. Southern Utah, third team foul. Madden off the inbounds. It's on the baseline.
That's one way to break a scoring drought. Get a momentum-changing play on defense, a steal, a run out, a few layups, and then a jump shot from your point guard, Hunter Jack Madden. Now ACU starting to find some momentum.
Ford in the corner, right side, still scoreless. 10 minutes in. Johnson with 5 on the shot clock, works with Steele. Oh, and got it to go. Well, it's great defense, Cam Steele, but give Prophet Johnson credit. Clutch shot, deep two-pointer.
Prophet Johnson unfazed by the big hand in his face from Cameron Steele. He steps up, poised, and knocks that one down.
DeGrew tried to answer, and he would. DeGrew, not a guy who's going to score a lot, just 3 points a game, but quality minutes at the point guard spot. Able to hit the jump shot there. And Ford fouled on the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. And Ford again will get to the line. Fourth in the WAC in scoring at 16.8. Finds a way to get to the free throw line. He's been there 48 times over the course of these last 4 games. 81% free throw shooter as well.
Those are the first points from Dominic Ford in this one. It'll be interesting to see how Southern Utah continues to involve the 4th leading scorer in the WAC on their team and use him for their success.
Coach Jeter brought in Ford, transfer from the University of Idaho. 1 for 2 trip. 3-point Wildcat lead. McLean back on the floor for DeGrew. Madden a quick trigger. Got it in a foul! Chance for a 4-point play.
What a big 3 from Hunter Jack Madden. Uses the double down screen to catch his pass in rhythm, go up unfazed by the defense, and knock that one down for the potential 4-point play. Talk about ending a scoring drought. ACU, 4 of their last 4 to go ahead by 6 points, potentially 7.
After a 3.5-minute drought, they've hit their last 4. Madden's got 8 already after the free throw. Score them in spurts.
And this is Hunter Jack Madden's game. He's a good shooter from the line when he's in rhythm with a clean look at the basket, and we saw that on display right there.
Full court pressure from the Wildcats, first time we've seen it. Thunderbirds break it, but it eats up first 10 of the shot clock. Sibley back on the floor, he's in between the rings. Backdoor cut and a nice one. Housley finishes with the left hand. And Braden Housley's having a nice first half, he's got 7.
Great read from Housley there. Realizing that ACU's playing a little overextended in the zones, doesn't get stressed out, makes a nice back cut to get a free layup at the
Betty All with good position. Beats Felder on the glass.
That's the second time we've seen that from Betty All. catching the defense, rotating back the other way, sealing his defender, and getting a free layup.
14 points in the paint for the Wildcats. Sibley a 3. Got it! They'll call it a 2, foot on the line. But Jamari Sibley, good looking outside shot. He's got 4.
Both these teams heating up now as we near the 7-minute mark in the first half.
Well, the stats will tell you these teams are offensive minded. Don't play defense most efficiently, but they can put it in the hole. Bettiol again, works with Felder. Muscles up and under. Got it to go.
Leonardo Bettiol, a little up and under there. And you were right, you're right, Andy. Both of these teams aren't the greatest, aren't the most efficient on defense. Like we mentioned earlier, Southern Utah, 49% is what they give up on shooting percentages to their opponents.
Great extra pass and a throwdown by Zion Young. The assist to Felder. And again, it's overplay on the defense that's led to 2 consecutive backdoor cuts. Madden Strong to the rim, no call, it goes out of bounds. Wildcats, they've got a 5-point lead. 6:38 left to go here in the first half. Hey, let's take a look at Around the WAC, the schedule today on the men's side. The entire conference is in the state of Texas today. A big one in Arlington with the conference leader Grand Canyon at UTA. California Baptist at SFA. Utah Tech is at Tarleton. And of course here, Southern Utah and ACU. An early lead for the Mavericks over Grand Canyon. They've got about a 10-point lead early in the first half.
And GCU has kind of pulled away as number 1, as a clear number 1 in the WAC. But the battle for second right now in the regular season play in the conference is very much alive. Tarleton taking a loss to Southern Utah the other night proves that.
Ward pull up from 10, his first field goal this afternoon. Be careful, Dominique Ford gets hot. If you like offense, these last few minutes have been it. ACU's hit their last 6 field goals. Southern Utah their last 5 field goals. Bettiol will miss here at the rim and a foul. I believe that's on Simmons, and if it is, it's his second. It is. That's on Arion, his second.
And right here, they tried to get this look again with Bettiol in the paint, back to his strong hand, but just couldn't hit there. And a little over the back from Arion Simmons, giving him his second as he takes a trip to the bench. And that's kind of been Arion's problem all season, is fouls. And he's done a good job these past few games limiting those.
And Steele back in for Arion with the 2 fouls. Young on the right side, works against Matt. Left hand, left it short. Tapped out by Hutchison, a second chance here for the Thunderbirds. Offensive glass, Southern Utah loves to attack. Here's a shot up and good, chance for a 3-point play. Zion Young working strong with Matt. Hunter Jackson foul, Zion, he'll go to the line to try to finish it off.
Zion Young, great jump stop, has both his pivot feet, draws the foul there, and earns a tough bucket. Looking like Luka Doncic the other night out there with that one.
He's got a long way to go to get to 73. Young, though, averages 12 and a half a game. He's got 5 this afternoon. ACU has led throughout, but Southern Utah has been right on their heels the entire time. Pressure by the Thunderbirds. Wildcats able to get into the front court. Diva with 4. Not his bread and butter, just his 11th 3 of the year, but he puts it down.
Big 3 there from Ali Diva, hand down, man down. Gets in rhythm and knocks that one down to put ACU up 5.
Ward right side. Trying to get Hutchison posted up, they will. Out to Housley. Down the baseline, through the hands of Hutchison. Diva chance to run with McLean. Kavion to the glass. Points in transition. transition. Off the turnover. Just like that, back to the 7-point spread.
And that's what gave ACU their momentum in their game versus Utah Tech was points in transition off of forced turnovers from their opponents.
Sibley works with the left hand versus Bettiol, left it short. This is the largest lead now in the first half for ACU. Bettiol in good position, fouled by Hutchinson, and free throw is coming.
Here we go, Leonardo Bettiol, Ali Diva, excuse me, and Kavion McClain in transition. Great extra pass from Ali Diva, not being selfish, finding the extra open man, and converting, puts them up 7 for their largest lead of the game so far.
First miss at the line for the Wildcats today is Bettiol back room. Madden has 10, Diva has 7, Bettiol 6, McClain 6. Simmons not in the scoring category as of yet, but his teammates are taking care of it.
And for Southern Utah, if they want to stay in this game, managing these last 4 minutes of the first half is crucial to establishing second half momentum.
Young a drive. JV Seat, the loose ball. Outlet to Diva. Wildcats 8 of their last 9 from the field. Housley almost the steal. 12 on the shot clock. Seat works with Ford. And Sibley the board.
That's a tough move there. Off-balance floater with a defender in your face.
Diva another steal, 3-on-1. Gives it up to Groove. Too strong, no good. Well, that's one the Wildcats wish they could have back. Good defense by Housley all by himself.
Way to not give up on the play there, making sure that you get the rebound and salvage a messed up situation from the Southern Utah Thunderbirds.
And now Sibley in the corner, a three-pointer. That's a 5-point swing. You miss in transition. Sibley hits the 3 on the other end. And now, whistle and a Brett Tyner timeout. 3:06 left in our first half. Wildcats, they're hanging on to that 4-point lead. 31-27. Home of ACU basketball is back.
This is the premier ACU Wildcat offense. Look at that gem.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antonio. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
And there's the guys upstairs, Joseph Chapa, Jaden West. They'll have the first half stats and the highlights. That is coming up here at the half here at Moody Coliseum. Wildcats have led throughout. Their largest lead of 7. They currently lead by 4. The Thunderbirds showing the matchup zone, and it forces a turnover. It's ACU's 5th turnover here of the first half.
And trying to set up the overload here to eventually dump it down to Leonardo Bettiol. Just a little miscommunication, a little overthrown. And Southern Utah, they need to take advantage of this if they want success and they want to keep it close going into halftime.
Nestor Diachuk is on the floor for the first time. Number 24, he's got a look at a 3, left wing. Ford on the backside, an offensive rebound. And Betty All the steal. Third steal this afternoon for the Wildcats.
Good read by Betty All. Seeing the balls out in front of him, anticipating where it's going to go, getting it, and getting his team an extra possession.
Just as well as the Wildcats have been shooting it, they're now on another scoring drought of 2.5 minutes. It's been feast or famine here in this first half. Debo will try to stop it. He's too strong on the drive. Chance to run here for the Thunderbirds. Haven't had many chances. Ford, though, leads it off the front of the rim.
So close to finishing the play there from Ford, but just a tough miss.
And now the steal, one-on-one with Cam Steele. Extra pass, Ford gets it back, hits the three in the corner. Dominique Ford gets the steal, stays patient, buries the three. He's got 6.
And that's what you love to see if you're a head coach. You love to see your players not giving up after making one mistake, staying in the game, getting a steal, knocking down a clutch 3.
Betty All blocked from behind by Housley. 11 still here on the shot clock. Officials are coming together to discuss something. I don't think it's a reset of the shot clock. Ball never hit the rim. The officials want to take a look at something here on this last possession.
On a different note, Southern Utah 6-0 run over these last 2 minutes. Stay in the game, and that is crucial.
See the entry again here to Leo. Housley just the block from behind. So the shot clock never resets. They put 12 on the shot clock. Cam Steele off the inbound. Gets the shot left side.
And a great play design there. Just running off a little double screen off the stack, getting into your spot and knocking down a little mid-range jump shot. Good job by Brett Tanner to drawing that one up.
The senior Cam Steele playing in his 104th game today. Housley an air ball on the opposite end. Check this. Diachuk, he missed it. And now a foul. Foul on the Wildcats.
Looked as if that 3 got tipped, but good job by Dominique Ford again on the glass, drawing a little contact. Getting to the line. Fans here aren't happy about that call.
That foul's on Debo. That's his second. So Simmons already with 2. And now Debo has 2. Ford misses again at the line.
This is something that's uncharacteristic of Southern Utah. They're not used to missing free throws like this at the line. They're 3 for 5 right now. Let's see if Dominique Ford can get their team back on track in terms of shooting percentages from the line.
Deba, Betty all checked out. Iggy Ahan back in, as is Yanni Rivera, number 2. Ford misses both at the line. Wildcats hanging on to this lead. They've had it the entire first half.
And those are free throws that you need to have if you're Southern Utah and Dominique Ford to keep Southern Utah in this game.
Ford attack, whistle, over and back violation. Ford had a tip of this pass, but I think Matt had already recollected and then stepped over. And it's an over and back violation. Brett Tanner pleading his case, but I don't think that's the right call. It's an over and back.
Southern Utah picking up the defensive pressure, stepping up in those passing lanes. That's what allowed Dominique Ford to push Hunter Jack Madden all the way out to near that half-court line and eventually force that over and back violation. Great job by Rob Jada drawing that up on defense and making that call.
Thunderbirds get possession. They only put 20 on the shot clock. Doesn't matter, as going to the rim is Young. He finishes strong. Fouled at the rim and a chance for a 3-point play.
Zion Young, good cut to that low block and one. A strong finish, giving his team a chance to tie the game. As we near halftime with 30 seconds left in this first half.
Young has 8 in the first half, our second tie of half number 1. Shot clock is off. Wildcats will get the final possession.
Expect ACU to find a three-pointer from an inside-out look. So look for them to get the ball on the block first and then a kick out for a final 3.
10 on the clock. McLean will start his attack. Pick and roll. Steal with 3. McLean, step back 3. Partially blocked, I believe. I think Sibley got a hand on it. And we're all squared up, 20 minutes in. It's Wildcats 33 and Thunderbirds 33. Good first half of basketball. Both teams shooting right at 46%. Points in the paint, 20 for ACU, 14 for Southern Utah. Brett Tanner is joining Roman Raffelli on the sideline. Roman, it's all yours.
Coach, hard-fought first half. What can you do better in the second?
You know, I don't think it was a very hard-fought first half. I don't think we played very hard. I don't think we played with any fight, any spirit, so I'm a little disappointed. We're going to go in there, we're going to regroup, and we're going to come out with a little more fight. Fortunately for us, I don't think they did either. So whichever group wakes up first is probably going to be the one that wins the game, and I hope it's us.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
And thank you, Roman. Thank you, Coach Tanner, as well. 33 apiece here at the break. Joseph Chapa, Jaden West, they're coming up at the half. WAC basketball on ESPN.
At 33 apiece between the visitors, Southern Utah, and the home team, Abilene Christian Wildcats. And welcome to your ESPN halftime report here on the third club level of Moody Coliseum. I'm your host of the halftime report, Joseph Chapa. Alongside me is the analyst, Jaden West. Jaden, it was a little bit of a slow start, but a couple of plays and highlights here and there for both teams. Now you have a tied affair. What did you see in the first half?
Yeah, as you mentioned, it was a little bit of a slow start for both teams shooting-wise, but they continue to get better and get hot. Both teams went on a run, and now we have a tied game. It's a good ball game, about average for these scoring teams, and I'd like to see more shooting down the end, but a good all-around game so far.
Well, Jaden, let's take a look at the first half stats brought to you by First Bank Texas. And you see here Hunter Jack Madden, kind of that main playmaker, Ali Deba, heading into this season, kind of that all-WAC player for ACU. What do you kind of see that ACU can do differently here in the second half?
Yeah, so both Madden and Deba are playing really good ball. I'd like to see Arion Simmons get back on the court. Only 5 minutes there in that first half. Had a couple fouls. Like to see him maybe back off a little bit on defense, not be so physical and aggressive, and he needs to be a scoring threat inside for this Wildcat offense.
Historically, Jaden, ACU not much of a three-point shooting team. You can say the same thing about Southern Utah, but you know how the modern game is played nowadays. Is that something that ACU can rely on, and also turning defense into offense to kind of gain the edge here against the Thunderbirds?
Yeah, this matchup is really interesting because both teams defend the arc really well, but ACU shooting okay from three, 40%. Like to see that number get up a little bit better to give them a chance to maybe take a run and go on a run to get this win here today.
And finally, you know, for Southern Utah, what do you think from them that they can do differently to kind of defend the Wildcats?
Yeah, they're without one of their best playmakers, Parsifala, today. He's not on the floor, but I'd like to see Southern Utah continue to force turnovers. That's usually been ACU's game, but Southern Utah doing a good job of that in the first half. I'd like to see that more in the second half.
Well, it's going to be an exciting second half. And before we finish this ESPN halftime report, we want to mention to our viewers that today's game is the annual Coaches versus Cancer game that Abilene Christian men's basketball puts on. You'll see the shoes that head coach Brett Tanner and his staff are wearing, and a pair of those Under Armour ACU branded shoes will be auctioned off on head coach Brett Tanner's X account. For more information on that, please visit Brett Tanner on X and make sure that you can always keep in mind and in your hearts those affected by cancer and leukemia. Well, that concludes this ESPN halftime report. I'm Joseph Chapa, alongside me, Jaden West. Thanks for tuning in. Andy and Matthew will come back after the break.
getting ready to start the second half. We are all squared up on the scoreboard. 33 apiece. Both teams shooting right at 46% as well there in the first half. Andy Penny alongside Matthew Dela Cruz. Matthew, if you'd have told me that Arion Simmons would be scoreless at the half and we'd have a tie basketball game, I'm not sure I would have believed you, but that's where we are right now.
Yeah, and if you had told me that Southern Utah, the #1 free throw shooting team in the WAC, was going to be shooting 50% from the free throw line, and we'd at a tie basketball game, I would have called you crazy. But this game has been one for the books. It's been a classic so far, and I'm excited to see where these teams will go in the second half.
There you can see the shooting percentages for both teams. 4 of 8 at the line for Southern Utah there in the first half. ACU just 3 of 5 in that first half. I anticipated we'd see a lot of free throws. We didn't, but still 20 minutes to go. And as you can see, ACU led throughout there in that first half. Their largest lead was up to as many as 7, but give Southern Utah credit, a 10-3 run to end the first half has us tied up at 33. So nothing decided 20 minutes in, and 20 minutes yet to go here from Abilene.
And credit Southern Utah in those last 4 minutes. They took control and brought the game back to a tie game to keep them in this, to keep it competitive. Because if they don't do that there, ACU runs away with it and makes it a lot harder to generate momentum in the second half. Credit head coach Rob Jeter for keeping Southern Utah poised and locked in this situation.
Zion Young leads the way, has 8 points. Sibley has 7. Housley 7. Ford has 6 here in the first half. Hunter Jack Madden, the only player in double figures. He has 10. Deba has 7. Betty All has 6. Arion Simmons, no points in the first half. 2 fouls for Deba and Simmons as well. So I wouldn't call that foul trouble, but a number to certainly watch for those 2 guys. Kavion McLean, an extra step, missed the shot. Betty All, an offensive board, puts it back up and in. Kavion McLean, just the extra dribble, just to create some space. Woo.
And how good has Kavion McLean been today? He's been nifty around the basket and nimble, able to get some shots off in some very tight windows. Great job trying to finish there, and Leonardo Bettiol finishing it up as he gets sent to the free throw line off his offensive rebound.
1 for 2 trip. We'll keep an eye on the free throw count. Just, again, 8 free throws for Southern Utah, 5 for ACU in the first half. We'll see what that number looks like at the end of today's contest. Young, the hot hand in the first half. Housley had a nice first half as well. Young a drive, and Bettiol the foul.
Braden Housley, 7 points in that first half. And he's only a freshman guard, but he's played like he's been here before. And that's all you can ask for if you're Rob Jeter as the head coach, is freshmen who are willing to step up and be the next man up to make plays and stay in a close game, even when you're missing your second leading scorer and #1 scorer in terms of shooting percentage in the WAC.
Housley with a step, kicks it out. Extra pass, Sibley on a drive. Lost it. And the turnover into the hands of Bettiol. It's a critical little stretch here. Again, ACU played with the lead there in that entire first half. Second half, a little bit different dynamic. You can play with the lead as the clock winds down. Certainly in your favor. Hunter Jack, step back, continues his hot hand. He's got 12.
And you're right, Andy. These first 4 minutes of the second half are the key to establishing momentum for the rest of the game down the stretch. If you can perform in these 4 minutes, you can perform to win the game. But if you can't, you might be in trouble.
5th consecutive double-figure game now for Hunter Jack Madden. Ford, if he gets hot, look out. He misses here. Front rim. Simmons up strong for the board.
Strong rebound there from Arion Simmons.
And McLean a 3 right side. Kavion McLean is 11-3 of the year. He's at 33%. He started 1 for 15 from 3 on the season. He's now hit 10 of his last 16. He went from 1 of 15 to 9 of 15 and make that 10 of 16 as he hits the 3 here. Ford a step, reverse layup, up and good.
Kavion McLean making a difference He has a season high of 15 points, and in his last game versus Utah Tech, he scored 8. And he's already up above that at 9 here today. It's a great job.
Down on the inside, Ali Debo will finish. 6-point Wildcat lead.
ACU continues to attack the paint, and so does Southern Utah. As Brock Felder gets his
Felder
bucket.
picking up the minutes for Parcel. Pala checking that. Arion Simmons, his first 2.
Great poise here from ACU to start the second half.
Madden almost a steal, can't keep in it.
And now for the Wildcats, number 5, Cameron Steele.
And here we go. Look at that strong, high-pressure defense from ACU. Hunter Jack Madden not giving up on that play as he tips it out of bounds. He almost saved a layup. That's one Southern Utah's going to wish they had back.
Cam Steele back on the floor, forward a jump shot. Well, he's been short, feel like, with everything today. Left that one off the front rim. McLean attacks Housley. Housley gets a hand on it.
Yeah, it's felt like Dominique Ford hasn't been in his element today. As we take a look at this replay, great attack here from Tavion McLean, but he's just been out of his element. It's going to be really important for Southern Utah for Dominique Ford to get in rhythm.
McLean too far underneath the basket, misses the shot. And touches Debo last. McLean pounds his chest there, says that's my bad. I got too far up underneath the basket. Felder and Housley work the left side of the floor. Young a touch, spin in the paint, off the glass and good. It's a double-digit day for Zion Young.
Zion Young, what a difference he's made, stepping up and filling the shoes of Fala, as he has 10 points so far in this matchup.
14th double-figure game. Simmons an offensive rebound. Put back.
Arion Simmons not giving up on the play and flexing over the defense there, as he gets a crucial putback to give ACU their 20th rebound.
Young, another drive and another finish. He'll flex on the other end. Back and forth we go.
Zion Young, what great body control he displayed there. Absorbing contact, not letting the defense face him, and finishing with a cool head.
Simmons on the attack. Whistle, jump ball call. Possession will go to Southern Utah. We got a timeout on the floor. Wildcats, 12 points already in the second half. They got a 4-point lead.
Leaders who inspire us, game changers and risk takers who never play small. Creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
I always dreamed of doing something that would make a difference, and so getting as much knowledge as possible was important to me. I love the fact that you can dream a new reality and then see it come true with hard work. Today, I know I'm making a difference, and a big part of seeing my dream come true was when I got my master's at ACU.
Get your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian.
And welcome back to Moody Coliseum. We are Abilene Christian Wildcats lead Southern Utah Warhawks 45-41. Arion Simmons held scoreless in the first half, but recently he's been red hot with 2 double-doubles in his last 4 games. He's been a key to this Wildcat success, averaging just over 17 points in those games. Leonardo Bettiol has been great defensively as of late as he's been getting more minutes and more looks in this starting rotation. They'll expect nothing less today, coming off of his 11-11 double-double performance on Thursday. Andy, back to you.
Hey, thanks, Roman. Yeah, Leo has played huge here as of late. Of course, Arion's been doing it forever here at ACU. This is game number 142 for Arion in a Wildcat uniform. Young on a drive, loses his footing. They'll say Young touched it last.
That's a big stop from the Wildcats as we look at Arion Simmons. Good defensive stand there.
Simmons starting to get hot. Excuse me here, Matthew. 2 of 5 on the game, 4 points, but here in this second half. A little bit more deliberate to get Arion some touches. He'll shot fake the 3 here, drive with the left hand, left it off the rim.
Kind of cold coming out of that timeout from both teams. Both teams were 4 for the last 6, 5 for the last 8. So as we see things slow down.
Ford with 8, works on McLean. That's a height mismatch. He'll back down, little contact, shot up and good. McLean tried to get the charge there, didn't get the call. And now Ford's in double figures. He's got 10. It's a Trailblazer steal, and they give it right back. Young threw the alley-oop pass, but Sibley was not anticipating it.
I don't think Giannis Antetokounmpo could have gotten that lob if he had the chance. But going back to that last Southern Utah bucket, what's one way to get your star offensive player involved on offense? Create a mismatch, create a height mismatch. And that's what Southern Utah did there.
Simmons a breather. Iggy Ahan is back in. McLean another look at a 3. And Iggy Ahan up over the back. Good block out by Felder. And Iggy Ahan the foul. Or check that. Did they call it on Felder? They called it on Felder on the blockout.
What a tough call that is. On one end, you have good position and you're always taught to box out. But on the other end, your EVA on, that's a good play to the ball.
Wildcats a second opportunity. On the left side, 3 on the clock. This time it will go on Iggy Ahan. He had Felder work on the backside block.
Good attack here by Ali Diva. Tough fadeaway jumper there at the end as the shot clock's expiring. That's one of those possessions that's tough to score on, but it's so important, especially in a game this tight.
Thunderbirds have hit their last 3 field goals. Have not led yet today, but they've been right on the heels all afternoon long. Ford another drive. Whistle and a foul. Ford on his way to the line.
And Dominique Ford, on their last 3 possessions, has had the ball attacking the basket, and it's proven to be beneficial for the Southern Utah team as they take another trip to the free throw line and see if he can convert.
Still to foul his second. Scores just find a way to score, and that's been Dominique Ford. 4th in the WAC in scoring at 16.8. Slow start today, did not score for the first 10 minutes. He's in double figures again. His 19th game out of 20, he's been in double figures. And we're back square again at 45.
Good job from ACU handling that pressure that Southern Utah was throwing at them.
Scoring drought of 2.5 minutes for the home team. Bettiol will work on Felder. Drop step to the baseline. Left it short, gets his own. Back up again. Did not miss the second time. Bettiol's got 9. Coming off his first double-double of the year, as you heard Roman talk about a moment ago. 11 points, 11 rebounds versus Utah Tech. He's got 9 and 4 today.
Relentless tenacity there by Leonardo Bettiol. Missing his first shot, not giving up, getting his rebound, going up strong and not letting it happen again. So he puts ACU back on top by 2.
Housley lost it out of his hands. It's a turnover. Turnover number 11 by the Thunderbirds.
As we take a look at this replay, Housley just lost control of the ball. That's a costly turnover from the freshman in a situation like this.
Shot no good from Diva, fouled out on the floor. You can see California Baptist beats SFA today. It's an 0 for 2 week for the Lumberjacks. And 2 tough losses. They lost to Grand Canyon on Thursday. They lose to CVU today. That's a parity in the WAC. We're starting to see it.
And that's a big result for the WAC in their conference play. So you had 3 teams tied at 5-3 in the conference. And that win puts California Baptist above SFA as 3rd in the WAC.
That misses on the baseline. Ford a chance to run into the center of the paint. Left block, shot up, shot good. Dominique Ford starting to warm up.
Dominique Ford, 12 points now, and has found a lot of success in the second half.
We're tied again. Simmons on a drive. And free throws coming for the big man. You better get out of the way of 6'5", 265 coming down the tracks. And Arion, boy, yeah, when you get this much moving downhill, you just better reach and get out of the way.
Yeah, great pump fake there from Arion Simmons. Knowing that the defense is going to be sprinting out to him, he gets a good pump fake, and he goes downhill, and you're right. If you're smart, you get out of the way with Arion Simmons coming down the lane. That's like an offensive lineman in football taking the ball to you full speed.
Arion Simmons at 65% free throw on the year, but he's made 28 of his last 34, make it 30 of 36 over the course of the last 5 games.
Southern Utah must score here to curb ACU's momentum in the last 1 minute.
The drive by Johnson, and he finishes at the rim. And we're tied again, our 5th tie this afternoon.
Prophet Johnson is the truth in this matchup. What a play that was to get around the defense and convert.
Simmons attacks again. No chance for Sibley. Arion's got 8 all here in the second half. Back and forth we go. Pass, last touch by Bettiol. Out of bounds. Southern Utah's made 5 shots in a row. Arion Simmons, though, he's got 8 here in the second half. Wildcats hanging on to the lead. They lead by 2. Under 12 we go. Boy, back and forth we go here in the second half. 51-49. The Wildcats have the 2-point lead. Andy Penny alongside Matthew Dela Cruz. Shooting has really warmed up here in the second half. Southern Utah 7 of 9 in the second half. ACU 7 of 16 in the second half. But nonetheless, we were tied at half, and we continue to go back and forth.
Yeah, this has been an offensive shootout here in the second half. Much different than that first half. But both teams have been poised offensively so far.
Johnson misses out of the timeout. And ACU has led throughout. Southern Utah has not led today. We've had 5 ties. ACU's largest lead today has been 7. But it has been right there for the taking for both teams.
We were talking about this earlier, Andy, as there's a foul on Zion Young off the ball. But we were talking about this earlier, how ACU and Southern Utah have been in a lot of these tough in-conference games where the outcome isn't really known, and it's a battle down the stretch.
Southern Utah with 5 losses this year by either 1 or 2 points. ACU on the other side has lost twice by 1 possession. Another loss in overtime. There's a foul, I believe it's on Simmons, and if it is, that's number 3.
Great play here by Arion Simmons, getting in front, giving a little shove there after getting the ball. This game's getting intense, Andy, but both these teams, this is a must-win game for both of them. And we see that here on display.
Simmons a breather with 3 fouls. Cam Steele back on the floor. DeGrew, Seat also in. Housley to inbound on the baseline. And has it back right side. Hutchison also back in. Nice feed that Johnson couldn't finish.
Good read there on the little flex screen from Southern Utah. Just a tad contested. And ACU takes advantage.
DeGrew works on Housley. Got away with the travel, but threw it away anyway. That'll get Kavion McLean back in off the bench.
And this is something that you don't want to see out of a freshman, indecisiveness. That's a drawing moment right there from DeGrew. Those are possessions you wish to have back. Southern Utah with possession now.
Ford with 14. Works against Madden. They clear the right side of the floor for him. Up and under. Left it short. Don't be surprised if Ford gets a touch on almost every possession here the last 10 minutes.
And in the second half, he has, in the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Madden a look at a 3. Well off the mark. Betty-All tried to save it, but couldn't.
Good hustle there from the Wildcats. As we take a look at this replay. Good find, in rhythm shot from Hunter Jack Madden. He buried one earlier, missed there, and Leo sprint out to try to save that ball, but just a foot out of bounds before he jumps. That gives Southern Utah the ball back with a chance to tie or take the lead. 9:50 left to go in this game.
This has certainly been an in-the-paint type of game today for both these teams, attacking the rim. ACU with 32 points in the paint, 26 for Southern Utah. Chance to tip for Sibley, couldn't finish.
Yeah, attacking the basket, that's the name of the game for the Wildcats and their offense and their success. Against Utah Tech, they had 40 points in the paint, and tonight they have 32. So look for them to exceed that for today.
And now an offensive foul, I believe it's on Betty-All. It is. That's Leo's third. So Simmons with 3 and now Betty-All with 3.
Take a look at Betty-All here. Sticking his elbow out a little bit on that off-ball screen. Most of the time you can get away with that, but that time, his officiating staff was on that.
And the Thunderbirds get on the top side. Sibley will try, and he'll make it. Southern Utah's first lead of the afternoon comes with 9 minutes left.
Jamari Sibley, the 6'8 junior, coming up in a big way there for Southern Utah as he gives his team the lead for the first time in tonight.
He's got 10. Seat reverse. Second chance. JB going to the line. Jamari Sibley coming off, again, his career high 21 versus Thursday. He's in the double figures again. Good look at 3 on the right side.
And this all started from a great move by Zion Young to get his defender off of him. You force an overload. You have one less defender out there on defense, and that's Jamari Sibley in this situation. He comes up big, knocking down that 3.
Seat ties us back up. JB just 3 points a game, but he plays critical minutes every night for Brett Tanner's squad. He's not going to score you a lot of points, but he'll defend well. He'll take care of the basketball and get you some points when you need. Of course, he hit the game winner versus UTRGV in overtime a few weeks ago in the ACU 91-89 win versus RGV. 2 for 2 at the line. Wildcats back on top. Young, strong this time. Foul on the backside, I believe Cam Steele. The home crowd does not like it. Steele working with Sibley on the backside block.
Brett Tanner,
The officials will look at it.
Brett Tanner confused at that call as the officials will look at it. It looked like Cameron Steele was in good position, boxing out, but I think they got him with an arm hook right there. That's a close call, and to the fans' dismay and Moody, probably the right one.
The officials will look at it. We'll tell you about it after the timeout. Back and forth we go. Wildcats have got the 1-point lead.
WAC Vegas is back. The best fans, championship basketball, all in exciting Las Vegas. Join us March 13th through the 16th at the Orleans Arena for the 2024 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament. Don't miss the crowning of a men's and women's champion. For more information, go to wacsports.com/WACVegas.
Doctors and nurses are the foundation of healthcare, but it takes people from all different backgrounds, experiences, and education with unique talents and skills to fulfill our mission of providing high-quality healthcare, emphasizing excellence and compassion consistent with the healing ministry of Jesus Christ. Join our team of educators, nurses, accountants, pharmacists, environmental service techs, transporters, and more. Be part of something that matters. Be part of the mission. Apply today at hendrickhealth.org/careers.
Well, the officials are still taking a look at it here. We'll get the official call. As they do that, we'll get the upcoming action coming up on Thursday. Game 4 of the 4-game homestand. Tarleton versus ACU. It's a good old rivalry game. Come out, it's Purple Out night here at Moody Coliseum. Of course, a halftime performance. Tip-off at 7 o'clock between the Texans and the Wildcats. Doors will open at 6. Purple Out here at ACU on this coming Thursday.
And just finished talking with the official, and it looks like that call will be reversed as ACU will get the ball, if I understood him correctly. Excuse me, The call will stand. Sorry, the call will stand. That was a good call by the officials there. Cameron Steele hooked his arm. So Southern Utah, another opportunity.
Sibley works with Steele, gets a step, left hand up and good. Continuation, yes! Chance for a three-point play. Sibley the step on Steele, finishes with the left hand.
Jamari Sibley, what a great move there. That was the design of the play. Get Jamari Sibley in a one-on-one situation from the free throw line to the bucket. And he converted and showed Coach Jeter why his number needs to be called in these situations.
What a bucket, and one. Cam Steele's fourth foul, Simmons back in. Jamari Sibley taking the minutes of Parsal Fala, not playing today, his second game in a row, not playing for the Thunderbirds with a back injury. And it's a three-point play.
Jamari Sibley, that was his 13th point there to help his team stay on top of the Wildcats.
Now the Wildcats play from behind this offensive possession. Eight on the clock for Seat. Lost his footing, travel. Turnover number 12.
And we see Arion Simmons trying to tell JV to space the floor out a little bit. JV Seat panics, turns the ball over, and gives the ball back to Southern Utah, who has some momentum now with the lead. Can they pull away from ACU and take advantage of their mistakes? Look for Southern Utah to get the ball to Zion Young or Jamari Sibley.
Hunter Jack Madden replaces Seat on the floor. Johnson also in for Southern Utah, as is Felder back in. Young a spin, off the glass and good. Zion Young has 14, one of 3 Thunderbirds in double figures.
Great move by Zion Young to cut across the paint, finish strong.
Madden to answer. And now Southern Utah a 2-possession lead and possession of the basketball. Critical possessions here for both teams. Tough, strong move by Housley. He's got it up and in. And a Brett Tanner Wildcat timeout. It's a 7-0 run for Southern Utah. They've got a 6-point lead. 7 minutes left here in Abilene.
Is better, whether it's body composition improvement, athletic performance, mental fortitude, or quality of life. Better looks different for everyone. With the help of our qualified staff, we will be there to guide you, to keep you accountable, and to help you recover. Whatever better looks like for you. Come see us at the Fieldhouse, 1609 Conwood Street, right off the Treadway.
Yeah, welcome home, Wildcats. Moody Coliseum, the longtime home of ACU basketball, is back.
This is the premier ACU Wildcat offense. Look at that gem.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road. From up in Amarillo down to San Antonio. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Hey, don't forget, Wednesday mornings, 10 a.m. Central, the Brett Tanner Show debuts each week on ESPN+. Our good friend Chris Jarrett will tell you, he and Brett Tanner will tell you about the week that was and the week that is to come. It's the Brett Tanner Show, Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Central on ESPN+. Brett Tanner and his Wildcats have some work to do here. Matthew, it's a 7-0 run by the visitors.
Yeah, Southern Utah, they have come out and they have executed in these last few minutes offensively. 7-0 run, like you mentioned, over the last minute 16, and they're 3 for their last 3. On top of that, ACU's 0 for their last 4. They've seemed a little out of rhythm on offense. They just put Hunter Jack Madden back in the game, so let's see if that'll make a difference. Let's see if he can keep this offense moving, kind of reset, reestablish some offensive rhythm.
ACU 1 for their last 7. No field goals in 4.5 minutes. They'll go right to Arion Simmons, and Arion will get to the line.
This is what ACU, this is their bread and butter, working through the post, working through their playmakers. We've seen it all game with Leonardo Bettiol getting a few points in the paint. Arion Simmons in the second half getting a few more points down low. Look for them to continue to attack. That's something Brett Tanner was harping on going into this one. They need to stick to their roots if they want to be successful.
ACU 8 of 12 now at the line. Southern Utah 7 of 11. Simmons' first miss. 8 points all in the second half. Madden's still the only Wildcat in double figures with 12, but plenty of Wildcats knocking on the door. And now a foul. Bettiol pushed from behind. And it's bonus the rest of the way for both teams. Leo Bettiol will get his chance at the strike.
That is not a foul that you like to see if you're Rob Jeter, head coach for the Thunderbirds. Foul occurring 94 feet away from the basket to give possession back to ACU. It's a foul that they're going to wish they had back down the stretch.
1-1 this time. 3 consecutive misses at the line. 6-point spread remains. In Madden with 12, Bettiol 9, McLean 9, Deba with 9. Simmons 8. Ford with 14, Young has 14, Sibley has 13. Housley also with 9. He'll back up McLean again. Here comes the double team. Ford with 3 on the clock. Don't know if he sees it or not. And shot clock violation. Dominique Ford never saw the shot clock.
Strong defensive possession there by ACU. Look at the rotations. Hunter Jack Madden stays on the ground, jumps second, following strong defensive principles to get that stop and to kind of stop the bleeding offensively from Southern Utah.
Turnover number 12. Both teams have turned it over 12 times. Bettiol works on the inside with Felder. And the shot falls. Stops the 7-0 run. It's a 4-point spread.
Betty all fired up after that one, showing flashes of Kareem on that hook shot over the defense to bring it within 4. This is where the game gets interesting with 5:40 left to go.
Housley again works with McLean, the height advantage. Shot clock down to 5 again. Ford works with Madden. Up and under, got it in a foul. Dominique Ford up strong on the right side. Chance for a 3-point play.
A move from Dominique Ford. Hangs in the air, absorbs the contact, and finishes. That's 16 points for Dominique Ford and puts Southern Utah back up by 6. Great response from the Thunderbirds.
That foul on Bettiol, his 4th. Cam Steele will check in for Leo. Steele has 4 of his own. So some foul trouble on the Wildcat side in the front court. What a finish, Dominique Ford. Now inching close to a 5th consecutive 20-point game. He's got 17. And it's the largest Thunderbird lead of the afternoon. The free throw went. The scoreboard still says a 6-point spread.
Rob Jeter, I think, is asking about that, asking about the score. And if it's right, that should put the Thunderbirds up by 7, or is it they stay at 6?
Lengthy conversation on the far side. I sure thought it was an and 1. Officials figure that out. Aiden Igiehan actually checked in for Cam Steele. The officials made the change, or Brett Tanner made the change. So it's Igiehan instead of Steele. We were tied at half at 33. It was an and 1 with the free throw. It is a 7-point game at 62-55. Officials want to confer again.
Put that point back on the scoreboard for Southern Utah. So I think Rob Jeter was correct. I think we have a timeout on the court.
Well, the officials want to check something again at the scores table. So the 2 teams have been sent to their bench. They'll figure things out. Again, we were deadlocked at 33 at the half. ACU led the entire first half. Southern Utah did not lead. ACU led the entire half. Southern Utah got it back to even at 33. We played back and forth. Southern Utah just took the lead here recently and now been on a run, courtesy of Dominique Ford. I don't see why that's not an and 1. He was well in the air before the contact happened.
Yeah, that looked like a continuation to me pretty clearly. But that's a great read by Dominique Ford. Understanding that the defense is closing out on you, taking advantage of that, using the momentum against them.
The officials are actually not looking at the replay. They are visiting with the official score on the far side to make sure, I believe, to make sure the score is right. Here's another look. They called a foul on Bettiol too. I don't know if maybe Brett Tanner is politicking that the foul's on Madden as opposed to Bettiol. And they're making sure the foul counts are appropriate. Yeah. If the foul stands on Bettiol, that's his 4th.
And that's big because if Bettiol has 4 fouls, that drastically affects the way he plays coming down the stretch. That would be huge for Southern Utah, because then that opens up some space on the interior to keep attacking the rim with players like Dominique Ford.
Bettiol closing in on back-to-back double-doubles, 11 points, 9 rebounds. Madden still leads the way with 12. He did the majority of that damage in the first half. As a matter of fact, Madden had all 12 in the first half. Now check that 10 at half. He's got 2 here in the second half. But this is setting up for a critical last 5.5 minutes. Both of these teams trying to finish off the week at 2-0. ACU beat Utah Tech on Thursday night. Southern Utah, their first road win of the year on Thursday night. It was a big one at Tarleton, who started the day in second place in the WAC. We have already seen today that California Baptist beat SFA. You'll see at the beginning of the day, CBU and SFA were tied at 5-3. California Baptist the win today. And you look at parity throughout. I mean, anybody can get hot, and this standings can flip in a hurry.
And we've seen in the past, anybody can beat anybody in the WAC. 1 or 2 games behind in this conference still means that you can be successful and you can go out and beat anybody and compete with the best in the conference. So ACU, very much not out of conference play. Neither is Southern Utah, oddly enough, even though they're at 10th in the conference.
So again, the play that is in question is the last 3-point play that we just saw from Dominique Ford just a moment ago. They're trying to figure out who the foul was on. I think it's a continuation 3-point play. The basket counts and the free throw as well. We think the score is right at 62-55. It's a matter of officials talking to the official score at the table, making sure the foul counts are right.
Yeah, and making sure the score is counted up correctly. There was some confusion on whether or not they were up 6. Are they going to be up 7? And I think they'll get the right call here. They're supposed to be at 62, it seems like. But again, good offensive movement here. The down cut from Felder to open up some space for Dominique Ford to do his thing. That's a huge play, huge momentum shift. And that curbs ACU's momentum in this one for sure.
And now the officials are over at the replay portion of the scores table, looking at a replay. I think, Matthew, from what I saw, the call went on Bettiol. Majority of the contact, I thought, was on Madden.
Right.
However, the official called Bettiol. I don't know if that is what is in conversation or not, but a lengthy conversation that started with the official score. It has now made its way over to the replay officials on the far side. Speaking of that, we told you about Thursday night is purple out here at Moody Coliseum. It wraps up the 4-game home stretch for the Wildcats versus the Texans, and then pack your bags, 4 in a row, headed out west to Seattle U and Utah Valley. Then they'll make a Texas tour with UTRGV and SFA. All the more critical 5.5 minutes here. You got to win on the home floor because you're about to hit the road big time. Speaking of Southern Utah, they return home next week, UTA and RGV, followed by Utah Tech, Grand Canyon on the road. Seattle U will make their way there to Southern Utah as well. Plenty of basketball to go as we get ready to hit the halfway mark in the 20-game conference schedule. Both of these teams are playing game number 9 today, so it's down the stretch they come here over the course of the next few weeks.
And this is a conference schedule that no team in the WAC is used to, as it is a new conference schedule now that each team plays 1 game at home, 1 game away. So it'll be interesting to see how each team in the WAC can become or can perform under when they're tired. We're going to step aside while the officials figure this out. On the scoreboard, it's Southern Utah 62-55. Back to action. We were talking to the officials, getting the confirmation of what was taking place. There was a call early in the first half that they called on Cam Steele. Originally, they called it on Yanni Rivera. It should have been on Cam Steele, so they have confirmed that Cam Steele has 4 fouls. The ACU books had that Cam only had 3, but he has 4, as does Leo Bettiol. So went all the way back into the first half to figure out that Cam Steele had 4 fouls. And foul trouble is going to haunt ACU down the stretch. And another shot by Jamari Sibley, and the lead has swelled to 9 for the visiting Thunderbirds. Madden with contact. Foul on the outside by Hutchison, and free throws
coming for Hunter Jack Madden. It's a 12-2 run now for Southern Utah over the last 3:45.
And ACU's just gone cold offensively. And credit Southern Utah on the defensive end for forcing ACU into some uncomfortable shots, suboptimal looks, and that's proved to be beneficial for them as they have expanded the lead to 9 points here with 4:29 left to go.
Madden at the line in the 1-and-1, falls out. That's 4 consecutive misses at the free throw line for the Wildcats. They don't get the backside of the 1-and-1 bonus. And now Southern Utah a chance to take a double-digit lead with 4:15 left.
Credit Southern Utah's ability to stay poised on offense. Not once have they been phased on this stretch.
Ford works with Diva. Step back, inside the line, nothing but the bottom of the net. Dominique Ford has 19.
That's a big-time move from Dominique Ford to stretch the lead.
Simmons now on a drive, got it to go and a foul. Chance for a three-point play. And Arion, who was quiet in the first half, now in double digits. And a chance to get a point. Great finish by Arion. Free throws coming after the under 4 timeout. ACU with some work to do. Southern Utah in control. 9-point lead down the stretch. And back inside Moody Coliseum. There's a look at the women's score. Southern Utah a 1-point lead on ACU with 40 seconds remaining. We'll keep you posted on that one as we come down the stretch here in Abilene as well. Southern Utah 6 of their last 6 from the field have a 9-point lead. Arion Simmons at the line trying to finish off a 3-point play.
And credit Dominique Ford for Southern Utah's success on offensively. As of the second half, they've ran their offense through him, through their leading scorer. And he's shown ACU why he's so dangerous and why he's the number 4 scorer in the WAC.
5 consecutive misses now at the line for the Wildcats. Possession will stay on this end. Sibley touches it last.
A good call there from this officiating crew, because from our angle you could tell Sibley just barely tipped the ball out of bounds.
Madden attacks. Betty all in the paint. Blocked from behind. Hutchison the block.
Smart block there. And that's a big block to keep ACU from cutting it even closer.
Chance to run the clocks. Squeeze some time out of the last 3.5. Housley out front. Needs some help. Ford on a drive. 5 consecutive 20-point games. Chance for another and one.
Way to do that fashionably and much needed time for this Thunderbird squad. Great attack by Ford. And one. Another and one for Dominique Ford to give him 21 points.
Simmons now with 4 fouls. 7 consecutive field goals for the Thunderbirds. Diva to drive. Got it up and good. 9-point spread with 3 minutes to go.
Ollie Diva now in double figures for the Wildcats.
4th one to get there today. Madden with 12, Betty all 11, Diva 11, Simmons 10. Housley with McLean, 10 on the clock. Housley the floater. And a late whistle, and McLean the foul.
Good defense here from Tavion McLean. Just found himself caught up under Braden Housley. And he gets credited with a foul there as Housley goes to the line and has a chance to convert on this possession.
Housley now the 4th Thunderbird in double figures. The free throw gives him 10. It's been a starter's game today. ACU's bench has scored 6 points. Southern Utah's bench has scored 5. It's been a starter's game. It's an 11-point spread. Simmons on the baseline. Works on Sibley. Foul out on the floor. It's double bonus the rest of the way for both teams. We'll see 2 free throws on every defensive foul.
And this is about what we expected to see at the beginning of the game, Andy, is a lot of foul trouble and a lot of free throws. And the double bonus proves that to be true, as Arion Simmons will get guaranteed 2 opportunities at the line to convert.
Got the first one. Southern Utah leads the WAC in free throw percentage. ACU is 3rd. It's a 2-for-2 trip. Defense for offense substitution here as DeGrew will replace Bettiol. So a little bit more guard action on the defensive side. Full court pressure for the Wildcats too. Young in the front court. Still plenty of time on the shot clock.
It's an important possession here for Southern Utah to score, but not too quickly, and to use the clock to their advantage.
Housley works the shot clock under 10. Ball high screen, top of the key, 5 on the clock. Desperation 3, got it! Nothing you can do about that. Desperation 3 at the end of the shot clock.
Big shot there from Braden Housley. And that's what
12-point game
you want to see out of the freshman on your squad in a late game situation when you need to bucket most.
Thunderbirds have it back. Hutchison gives it to Ford. Dominique going back to the line.
As we take a look here at this Braden Housley 3-pointer from the parking lot. Splash over Kavion McLean. And that extends their lead to 12 points, like you said. And now ACU, it feels like they're on their heels defensively every time Southern Utah is coming down with the ball. Let's see if they can regain their footing and maybe get back in this game to make things interesting.
This is a turn the corner week for the Thunderbirds. Had not won on the road all season long. They come to Texas. They take one versus Tarleton on Thursday. And they have put the screws down here in the last 10 minutes. And have swelled out a 14-point lead with a minute and a half to go. 8 for their last 8 field goals. Foul away from the ball. Bettiol fouled by Hutchison. But what a week for Rob Jeter in his first season. First season's always tough. It's a transition year. But this is a Southern Utah team program that's won 20 plus each of the last 2 seasons. 2 years ago in the Big Sky Conference. Last year in their first year in the WAC. Starting to figure things out here in late January.
And it's always hard for a first-year head coach, you're right, Andy, because it's not about just getting a good team together. It's about getting that good team on the same page, bought into the program, bought into the system. And it looks like Rob Jeter has figured that out in this later stretch of WAC conference play.
Housley behind the full court defense, an easy finish. And Housley up to 16 this afternoon.
What a showing from Braden Housley as he steps up and has filled the shoes of Fallow.
Bettiol the finish, 77-64.
And ACU playing in deny in the passing lanes, that's good and all until you start to go over the top, over the defense. We saw Braden Housley take advantage of that there and get the bucket.
It is now 9 consecutive field goals made.
And the second winning section is...
Southern Utah took their first lead this afternoon at the 9:01 mark at 52-51. And Since that point, at 52-51, they have outscored the Wildcats 25-13.
Yeah, Andy, is not the way you start a game, but it is definitely the way you finish. And we see that here today as Southern Utah up 13 points with a 1:08 left to go. What a finish from the Thunderbirds.
There you can see a women's final. Southern Utah on the women's side has beat ACU as well, 82-80 the final score. Southern Utah trying to finish off the sweep this afternoon. Here's a foul on DeGrew.
Things getting a little chippy on the floor as time's winding down in this one. This battle has been back and forth. But Southern Utah will have a chance at the line to extend their lead.
Zion Young, I thought there in the first half, played some big minutes, hit some big shots when Ford was slow to get started offensively. Ford did not score in the first 10 minutes. Of course, we mentioned that Parsall Fala not playing today. Who would step up in that role? Zion Young, I thought early, carried some offensive load before Ford got started. He and Housley early kept Southern Utah in the game.
And they were able to just finish plays, Andy, and that proved to be very beneficial for them down the stretch as they were able to extend their lead, and they just never gave up.
Young foul again. This foul on Diva, his fourth. The Wildcats again return home on Thursday, the final of their four-game home stretch. Then a four-game road trip to follow. Southern Utah returning home. UT Arlington, UT RGV next week, Thursday, Saturday. And a 1-for-2 trip there for Young. Looks like his day might come to an end with 15 points. Ford with 23, Housley 16, Sibley 15, Young 15.
What a day for the Thunderbirds offensively.
Diva blocked at the rim. Simmons back up and in. Stoppage of play, not quite sure what the stoppage is for. Wanted to try to get a substitute, but I don't think they will allow Young to come back in.
And what a stop that was at the rim. Ali Diva going up strong for the poster, being denied. Credit Southern Utah for being in position there to recover back to the basket, not give up anything easy.
They will allow the substitution at the dead ball. And now Young fouled, will walk the floor again. Bettiol has fouled out. That's his fifth as he fouls Young. It's another double-double today for Leo, 14 points, 10 rebounds. Back-to-back double-doubles.
And what a game it has been for Leo. Bettiol, 14 points, as you said, 10 rebounds, and strong minutes trying to will the Wildcats to success. Just coming up a little short as a team. The second consecutive double-double is huge for Bettiol.
Young, I thought his day was over a moment ago, but he'll get two more. Chance to pad the stats. It's fun. No real pressure here with 44 seconds left. Just a chance to up the averages a little bit.
All the pressure in the world to fix the free throw percentage, though, Andy.
It's a 2-for-2 trip.
Vincent back on the bench now. Young back on the bench for Southern Utah.
Simmons a quick three. Foul on the inside.
Foul is on the first number 16, Prophet Johnson.
Prophet Johnson the foul. More free throws here, Diva.
At the CCSP trading track for the Wildcats, number 24, Ali Diva.
It's still a stretch here because of the fouls and free throws. Southern Utah has made their last 9 field goals. It's a lengthy stretch.
ACU has struggled on free throws in the second half. Like we mentioned, ACU went on a stretch of missing 5-6 free throws in a row. And that's really where Southern Utah pulled away and took advantage, was at the free throw line.
So 38.1 to close this one out. It looks like ACU content to let Southern Utah run the clock. ACU will fall to 8-12, 3-6 in WAC play. Southern Utah will improve to 8-12 and also 3-6. Identical records for these two teams when they leave the floor here in the next 15 seconds. Housley, the floater. 18 for the freshman. A 15-point spread in a game that was tied. Southern Utah took their first lead with 9 minutes left this afternoon. And at the end of the day, it's Southern Utah 82, ACU 67. Southern Utah shoots 58% from the floor today, 31 of 53, 45% from deep, but did it defensively there in the second half. Hey, we're going to send it upstairs. Joseph Chapa, Jaden West will get their thoughts as we wrap up today's contest. Fellas?
Hey, thank you, Andy. Back up here, Joseph Chapa, Jaden West covering here this post-game coverage here in the Moody Club level at Moody Coliseum. Jaden, it was tied at 33 apiece in the first half. Bit of a slow start between the two teams. Then Southern Utah just ran away with it and now played the Wildcats in the second half. What did you see specifically?
Yeah, Southern Utah just really ran away with it. Abilene Christian, not a very good job from the arc, only shooting 25%, well below their season average per game. And also, ACU did out-rebound Southern Utah, which is something that we don't usually see. It's only the third time it's happened all year, but in the end of the game, I mean, ACU just couldn't score, and that was really the deciding factor in this game.
And despite the double-double, the second straight double-double from Leonardo Bedio, Arion Simmons doing his thing. Let's talk about what this means for ACU. ACU moves out of the playoff picture for the WAC Vegas tournament. They move to 9th overall in the standings. Moving forward, what does ACU have to do to get back and climb up into the tournament standings?
You know, ACU really has to turn those turnovers that they force so well into points. Today, they just didn't do a really good job. Only 6 points off the turnovers. Southern Utah committed 12 turnovers, and we just couldn't capitalize off that. That's going to be big down the stretch for ACU.
Well, we'll see what the Wildcats here coming up for the rest of the season. Joseph Chapa, Jaden West signing off here at the post-game show. Back to you, Andy.
Thank you, gentlemen. 82-67, Southern Utah gets the win this afternoon. Hey, this has been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live. They're archived on the ESPN app. Until next time, for Matthew Delagarza, Roman Raffelli, Joseph Chapa, Jaden West, and the whole crew led by Hutton Harris, I'm Andy Penny saying so long. Take care. Good night from Abilene, Texas.